Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the business research models. In the business research model, in specifically we are looking about the sampling models. So basically, sampling is being basically divided into two categories. One is probability of sampling and non-probability of sampling. In the probability of sampling, we have a probability that the customers or the samplers will have accurately will be coming back again the product that we give as a sample. In the non-probability of sampling, where the consumers or the samplers will not be guaranteed for the samples that we provide that we regain it back. The further topics shall be discussed by Jayanti.
Okay, so data means collection of information. So for this data, what happens? Samples is very much mandatory. This is because when a researcher is involving in any kind of research process, but the entire population cannot be derived from the output. So it may be overwhelmed for the researcher in order to give the perceived output. That is where we'll go for a sample. So sample refers to a small proportion from the entire population. So there are two important sample methods that goes for systematic sample and second one is random sample. So systematic sample is where every person or every individual will get the opportunity or equal opportunity of being selected. And random sampling is where the sample size or the other perspectives will be collected based on the judgment, suggestion, opinion and convenience of the researcher. So what happens? Samples helps in reducing the burden or overwhelming factor of the researcher. So a researcher has to carry on this sample process or research, business research for a long period of time. So when specific activity is carried out for a long period of time, it may be overwhelming or it may lose the interest. So what happens? When we choose a specific part of a sample, it will be helpful for the researcher in order to have a perceived book about what he or she is going to work about, how the output can be derived, and it also helps in shortening the time duration within which a researcher can help. It will help eventually help in deriving the output. And when we see about the time lag or several other errors, so it will be rectified. And even if errors are found out, it can be rectified at the initial stage itself. So these are some of the characteristics and advantages of selecting why sample is important in every business research.
So let us see what is the meaning of sampling and as well as its advantages. So what is sampling? Sampling is nothing about it is a research method where we collect samples from smaller groups, like bisecting it from a larger group, giving them your sample trial and getting their review back. It can be an open-ended question or closed-ended question. It depends upon you. And collecting their data and analyzing it and finding out whether the customer is liking your product or disliking it, and based on that you're manufacturing it. As well as when it comes to sampling, taste and preference is important thing in companies when it comes to sampling. Like tasting preference, nothing is it is a simple way of telling like is your customers are willing to taste your product or willing they are like to buy your product by giving them a sample product. So if I am starting a new venture, I want to try a new chocolate bar. So what I'm going to do, I just manufacture one-third percentage of the product, and therefore I just give it to the random number of people and ask their review, so that I come to know whether this product will go for a higher sale or whether it go for a decline for the face the profit, or it depends upon the customer willingness as well as taste and preference. So sampling plays a major role in manufacturing as well as in the company's profit line.
So here I am to conclude it. As Sabinish said, sampling is very much important for the product to be advertised or to reach people, as well as it's very much important for companies or organizations' revenue. That is a monthly, a yearly income. So now when it comes to sampling, you may take a small amount of people. Say, for example, your customers may be so many, thousands and thousands of customers you might have. But from that, you're picking only a few, so that out of those, only the other opinions will be, obviously. So, here, when you take, if they give a proper feedback, only the organization can come up. So, only then they can have a very good revenue or gain customers, gain loyal customers. So when the sampling, when you take a sample and it's not going good, if you have negative feedbacks and if you're not able to promote your product to the next level, if you don't have customers coming to you, it's obviously the sample size which was not clearly taken by the organization or the company side. So for this, what the company has to do is again start up from the first, which is loss of money, which is loss of time, which is loss of energy from all the
employees' point of view as well as the authorities in the organization and the company. So out of this, the conclusion is nothing but when you take a sample, make sure it is consists about it should be the concise manner. This to the point. That's all. Thank you.